how do you see the cultivated meat industry evolve both in India and globally? And before all of that, if you can take a brief moment and tell us all what cultivated meat really is and what you guys are doing at the core.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, and thank you everyone for spending the Sunday afternoon with us and listening to what exactly cultivated meat and precision fermentation is. So I think my friend has already explained what precision fermentation is. Cultivation or cell agriculture is not very different, but it is still different. So where, in cell agriculture, if I have to explain in the most laymanish language, we all are made up of cells in the starting, right? And there are multiple cells, multiple type of cells. There are muscle cells, neuronal cells, lympho cells. So and these cells grow together, and then we become a human or an animal or a being. In cell agriculture, what we do is that we take a specific type of cell, which is muscle cell. We take that muscle cell, we put it in a nutrient broth, which we generally call cell growth medium or a nutrient broth for the understanding part, and then we do all that zing-zang of lab science and PhDs and MScs of the world are doing, and then we get a mass of cells, which we call as meat, which is eventually meat only, but for the for the sake of not using the word meat, because this is how meatless is going away, we call it food source or a protein source. So this is the way cultivation of cells or cell agriculture does happen. Now what exactly, coming back to the question that what is Clear Meat doing? Clear Meat is India's first and only ISO certified organization which is cultivating meat pool of cells in the lab, right, and making sure that we have a food chain which is sustainable enough. Now, how Clear Meat is different than the other companies in the world which are doing. So first of all, it is India's only. So it could be, you can say, India's answer to Just or to Upside. That is one I take a lot of pride in saying that. Another thing I would like to say is that Clear Meat is not a B2C company if you start, So we are not coming up saying, that we are going to be another brand which will pick pack and, then sell our product. Because as everyone understands, people still are not able to understand the difference between alt protein. Then within alt protein, there are two segments, which is a plant-based alt protein and an animal-based alt protein, right? So now already there are companies in the world which is selling plant-based, companies in India selling plant-based meat, and then somewhere a company comes and say that we are 100% non-vegetarian, but we are not killing any cow or we are not killing any hen, but still this is meat. It is going to confuse the industry like anything. So what we have decided in India is that we will first create the category, and when you have an innovation and then you have a disruption, I consider precision fermentation as well as cultivation, cell agriculture as a disruption. So for when you are introducing a disruption in the market, the displacement happens, and for displacement the first step is awareness. That is why I am here, to first of all make everyone aware that what exactly is cultivated meat, what exactly is Clear Meat doing, how we are different. We are different because our entire value chain is in-house. So in a cultivated meat segment, right, there are majorly four pillars, that how supposedly tomorrow you want to start your own company, what are the four major pillars you will work upon. So what is the cell lines? You want to have a camel meat, you need to have a camel cell line. You want to have a fish meat, you will have a fish cell line. We are working on chicken, so we have a chicken cell line. Now that cell line has to be very safe, secure and healthy, so that you will have a healthy meat, right? Another part is the cell growth media, which constitutes of almost 60 to 70% of the cost. And I would, in the interest of time, I will not explain what is that, because that will get into the details of it. But it is very important, and you can Google about it. It is fetal bovine serum or cell growth media. What is this? So that is another part. Third is the technology, right? What kind of technology you will use? Either you can take a bioreactors, right? A huge bioreactors, and you can start making meat in that. Or you can have scaffold technology, right? Scaffold is that you have a certain segment, a certain place on which the cells start growing. Again, I will not explain that. You can Google it. Yeah, it will become very, very tricky else. The fourth part is the licensing part. You have to take the license. Now, licensing is not in our hand, it is with FSSAI, and we are already working with them. However, the other three parts, the cell lines, we do not import or buy cell lines from outside. We have our own cell lines. So which means that I know that my cell lines are 100% healthy. So my product is going to be 100% healthy. Second is the cell growth media. I am not using any animal-based product in that. If you'll go and if you'll check what is cell growth media and what is fetal bovine serum, you'll understand that what kind of animal dependency we get even while we are going and making cultivated meat. So that is also in-house. I am not importing it. I am not buying it from outside. I am making it in-house, which is reducing my cost as well as making me sure that my entire value chain is animal-free. Third comes the technology. We have our own patented technology. So we use a mix of both bioreactor as well as scaffold. And then we are coming with the product. Now the product is ready, and anyone who wants to taste it has to travel to Delhi, and probably we can make you taste. Now the question, there was another question.
I want to ask you more questions, Parul.
Yeah.
That was already, I think, very enlightening. But just in the interest of time, I will come back to you with the other question. But thank you for elaborating. This is a very tricky part to sort of talk about cultivated meat and very technical. Abhinav,